Coming up in this video, I'm going to unbox the new Fallout Wasteland Warfare starter set. Welcome back to Minijunkie. My name is Jarrett. So yeah, all of a sudden in my Facebook feed of, various hobby topics, Fallout Wasteland Warfare really started to pop up. So I took that as a sign that it's starting to show up in stores, and that is the case. So locally here in Edmonton, Apt to Game is the store where they had about 12 copies. And because I have no self-control and I really like Fallout and I really like miniatures, I ran out and bought a copy right away. And I thought it'd be cool to do an unboxing where, I actually haven't really been following this game. And so other than looking at the back of the box, I don't know what to expect. So I'm going to sort of do it in real time with you guys. I know other video channels and stuff have done unboxings before, but I'm going to crack it open with you guys. And I have no real preconceived notions here about what it's going to be, what it's going to be like. To be honest, because this is a miniature painting channel more so than anything, I'm going to really focus on the miniatures that it comes with and not so much on whether it's tokens or the manual and things like that, because I'm not in a good position to judge those things. But I am in a good position to judge miniatures, so I'll take a look at those and show you and tell you what I think. So let's get to the painting table. Alright guys, here it is. I am recording the VO for this in real time at my painting desk. And as you can see, let me see if can I zoom out any further. Yeah, as you can see, I'm doing this in my painting area because I have not yet ever set up a good space to do these sorts of unboxings or look at components in any good way. So camera angle is probably not ideal, and luckily the box barely fits on my painting area. But anyway, enough of that. So this is the Fallout Wasteland Warfare 2-player starter set. Bethesda and Modifius are the creators of this. Bethesda obviously being the game company that creates Fallout, which is a game that I think a lot of us really enjoy. This one comes with a bonus Alien Zetan figure, which is cool. I guess probably because it is the first run of the starter. And according to the side of the box here, 12 pre-assembled plastic miniatures and rules for wargaming in the Wasteland. So like I said in the intro, I am unboxing this right from the, whoops, that's my phone dinging, I'll turn that off, right in real time with you guys, just so you can get my first impressions raw and uncut. So here's the back of the box, designed by James Sheehan. Looks like it's going to come with colored plastic, so we'll see that in a second. Obviously a lot of tokens. I think it's awesome that you do not see, as far as I can recall, you don't see a ton of video games getting converted into miniature war games. I know Halo has done it. I don't know if that. I think that was Spartan Games, who are not doing business anymore, so that may not be a thing anymore. And I'm trying to think if there's any others. I will say I think Mass Effect would make a great miniature game. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but you never know. I have no inside knowledge on that, especially not these days. So let's open it up and see what's going on. Nice box so far. Good quality. Alright. Totally on brand. The, Pip-Boy 50s, you can do it kind of vibe to a lot of the material in the games is carried forward here to the miniature game. So here's like a set of starter rules. It's decent quality. I'm not reviewing the rules here by any means. So, looks great. Looks like a good starter set of rules. Put those aside. You get a bunch of tokens. I will not be punching these out right now. They seem like decent card stock, so that's good. A couple of rulers, which is also cool, right here. These are fine. Quite often these days, these starters will come with a game mat that's like a pre-folded, bit of a thicker, it's not card really, it's a thick paper stock, almost like a poster stock. I'm not going to unfold it here, but just looking at the texture right now, the detail looks really nice, and actually has a nice matte finish to it, which is cool. It's not like a glossy poster paper, which is nice. So it feels like it's good quality. If anyone out there in YouTube land knows how to take these sort of folded mats and what, you know, sometimes posters, but mats in particular, and get the creases out and make it look nice and flat and, you know, not like a folded piece of paper. Leave a tip below in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Maybe you're mounting them on foam core, something like that. But I mean, I just think it's better than having these like something full of creases. You get some cards. I'm guessing, yeah, these are cards for whether it be actions or for the characters themselves. Oh, that's really cool. I actually feel it's almost like a magazine, which is neat. Rules of play. So this is obviously beyond that starter booklet we looked at. This will be the complete detailed rules, which once again I won't be going into right now. At first glance, oh, look at that. My book came with a fold in it in the papers. That's a real bummer. Oh well. Not the end of the world. It's not too bad. Yeah, so that's weird. I guess my book was folded in the box. I'm not gonna deduct points for that, partly because I'm not keeping any points and partly because it's not a hugely big deal. I can fold it back like that. So yeah, still very cool. Oh, an index, always appreciated by gamers. But yeah, it looks really good. There's that. I'm still really just in it for the minis, guys, so bear with me. Let's get through this quickly. Campaign handbook, very cool. So it gives you an idea of how to play ongoing games, and I'm guessing, oh, there's also a solo mode, some scenarios to play, and if I'm not mistaken, I think there's also some rules, if I heard correctly, there's some rules about like having settlements and things like that. Yeah, and some tutorial scenarios, which is great for learning. So all the book materials seem very good. I am impressed so far. Always great when a game gives you Ziploc style baggies to keep your components in. Very, very nice. Things like your cards and things. So let's look at the minis here. This is why I'm here. Some of them have sort of flopped out of their slots here. The first one that really grabs your attention is obviously what is this thing called? I can't remember what it's called. I want to say Death Leaper, but I don't think that's right. Okay, someone tell me what it is below. I'm sure I'll figure it out later. So they're green, kind of like radiation green, I suppose. It's like a PVC type of material. So you will need to do, what I like though is I'm not seeing any nasty gaps here, especially for a model like this. You would potentially expect to see some bad gaps in the arms and things, but not bad at all, really. Like there's pretty much, the gaps are very, very fine and either fillable or almost you could ignore them. And I'm not seeing, gosh, there's not even that bad of like seams and mold lines on this. I'm actually trying to find them. Sometimes you'd see them running, you know, across the shoulders and down the arms or something, but this is a really clean cast. Nice detail. You know, there's a few things to clean off. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of, you can't see it in the, you probably can't see it. Probably can't even see the model at this point, but yeah, you won't be able to see it on camera. There's a little bit of flash in like the curve of the horns and things like that, but really quite nice actually. I would, let's see, nice flat base. Sometimes you get warping with these plastics, but this seems flat. And yeah, radiation green, which is cool if you're not going to paint them. But I think that'd be a bit of a shame to not paint these guys because they're so good. Here's the little alien that's, let me zoom in guys so you can get a better look at these. Alright guys, I'm back. Yeah, my camera really doesn't like focusing on this bright green material or for some reason, but you know, I grabbed one of the muties. You can see there's a little bit of bending in the weapon. That is easy to fix with some hot air or hot water, depending on what you got. Like you could do the hair dryer. Fairly basic detail. Like he's got a lot of flat armor panels, which I think is fine. You know, you could do some corrosion and rust. And he's got like a sculpted base, which is a nice touch. With most of these bases, you probably, I don't know if you can see it, there's a bit of a nub here. You're going to want to clean off the bases before you paint. I can see more of a seam line on one of his legs and on his arm, and usually across the head, but maybe not in this case. So still pretty cool. He doesn't have a lot of detail in his facial features, and I'm probably not going to be able to get this into for you to be able to see it very well. But yeah, so he's okay. He's good. Didn't blow me away. These dogs, mole rats, not sure. A little bit soft on detail, you know, but they are technically, that's supposed to be muscle under skin, so I think that's fine. Pretty cool. A few little mold lines here and there, nothing crazy. And again, pretty cool that it comes with they each come with a different base. You would think that would just be a mass-produced same base on each one, but it's not. This guy got the short end of the stick on his weapon draw, and he's just got a human sledgehammer. It looks funny. It's a little small, but and a slight bend to it, but nothing much. You could easily fix that again with boiling water or with hair dryer. Just be careful, don't burn yourself. You heard it here first. Nice sculpted base with some terrain and some broken cement. And he kind of reminds me of the Hulk in Thor Ragnarok with his helmet and stuff. He's got that vibe to him, but pretty good muscle detail. You can see the seam line here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. All in all, pretty cool. I like him. And another mutant. This guy's nice. I like him. He's got like a hat with goggles on, which is cool, and a skull hanging on his chest plate here. Just looking for mold lines. That's interesting. It's got they all have this like a bit of a tarnishing or a scraping on them, which is interesting. Don't think it's mold release or anything. Speaking of which, I would probably wash these with soap and water before painting them, and I probably will, because I do find that PVC board game style miniatures do tend to have some issues with paint adhering. Obviously a primer is going to help with that, but I've had even primer come off of these a little bit, so I'm probably going to give them a scrub just to be safe. But yeah, I mean, not super detailed, definitely not as crisp as some plastic miniatures or certainly metal ones, but I wouldn't expect that. Definitely good enough for miniature gaming in Fallout, I would say. Here we have the suit. I just hate that I can't remember the name of these things right now. A rad suit? Anyway. Very cool again. This will be almost all metallics that you will use, so I would probably actually prime this guy black, by the way, even though a lot of the other ones I'm likely to prime white. Again, a different sort of sculpted base, some nice wood planks and things like that. I always say things like that too much. Good detail. Not seeing any crazy mold line things that would be frustrating to clean off. For those of you that do get ones with more mold lines or whatever, if you're trying to clean them off, take a sharp X-Acto knife, possibly even a new blade, and just gently almost like shave it off, or I think you pretty much have to do that, or slightly scrape it. But that's going to be your best bet. Filing is more likely just to create a rough surface and a mess on this type of material. A very, very fine grit hobby sandpaper also works pretty good. So Tamiya makes that kind of sandpaper, which can also work. So getting into the humans, pretty fine scale. So I want to say this is like, God, doesn't want to focus today, guys. Sorry. I dropped my camera, so I wonder if I screwed up the lens. Little bend in the weapon, and pretty light detail here. But I think that's okay. I don't think it has to be crazy. Her face there's not a lot of detail to the sculpt, but I think it should paint up okay. She's definitely on the smaller side of things in terms of her details. Here's another one. Long hair, good sculpting on the clothes and things, so looks good. It's got a lantern on the base, which is kind of a nice touch. But yeah, looks good. A couple more. Human hasn't been eating much. Got a nice. He's pretty ripped. He's quite cut, I guess. He's got some. Again, I can feel the mold line on this guy, so he's going to need some cleanup. These are really small scale. I don't know how to describe this. Heroic 25 millimeters, something like that. Oh yeah. And again, I don't know if you can see it. He's got a bit of a mold line going up his head here. So yeah, he's got one of those mold lines that goes sort of across the halfway point of the model, but doesn't hurt with the, doesn't damage the face or anything like that. So, and still enough detail. These kind of remind me of Zombicide figures where there's enough detail to paint up and make them look cool, but they're not, they're not high detailed models that you might see in like Infinity or sometimes games, lately Games Workshop, etc. So definitely less detailed, but I think that's okay for the average gamer who just wants to paint these up and have a good time playing miniatures in Fallout as a setting. So it's a kind of a halfway point between a board gamer and a miniature gamer, I suppose. Again, similar to something like a Zombicide. Another human survivor here, good detail. It's got a head wrap or a hood. I guess it's a hood. And a scarf. Anyway, he's got a scarf over his hoodie and his t-shirt. I don't know. He's dressed weird. Anyway, and he's carrying a compass. I don't know what that is. I like him though. He's dressed again like a Wastelander. Good base. I really like that these guys come each with their own sort of individual sculpted base. That's cool. And Dogmeat, I want to say that's his name. Again, good sculpt. Looks very much like the dog in the game. Little bit of flash and mold lines that'll need to be cut off, and then again a good base. So real nice. So yeah, I would say. And again, I'm not going to go through the dice and things like that or the cards because this isn't so much a game review as a quick unboxing and impressions of the miniatures. And I would say I am impressed enough to want to paint them and that they would be fun to game with and fun to play Fallout with as a miniature game. I don't think they're the greatest miniatures, in terms of, you can see how bent that gun is. In terms of just raw amount of detail, it's a tough one, right? As a painter, I'd like to see more, I think, but and crispness to the miniature, like more crispness in the facial detail here. But at the same time, again, for the audience and for getting started with miniature gaming, I think it's probably the appropriate amount of detail. So I don't want to hold that against them too much, to be honest. I think it's really cool. I think it's awesome that Fallout has a miniature game. And I would not hesitate to recommend this if you're thinking about getting into it, and if you're thinking about painting or just starting out with miniature painting and you're a huge Fallout fan maybe. So I would say go for it, grab it, dig in with painting. I'm going to probably do a few miniature tutorial videos with these guys, and I will probably, as so often is the case these days, I will probably do this sort of speed painting technique and show how you can paint these guys pretty quick, pretty easy, and not have to super sweat every detail and like carefully highlight every muscle and things like that. I'll probably show a way of getting these onto the tabletop to have fun with some Fallout gaming without taking too long and without needing some seriously advanced skills and techniques. That's it, guys. I think that's all I want to show for now. Just a quick unboxing, quick impressions of the miniatures. I am impressed enough and I recommend it. If you have questions, comments, if you bought this set, let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.